This movement of restitution allow us also to rememorate our history, to be reconnected with our past, and also to engage a global debate about the heritage.
Welcome to a new episode of the podcast Decolonial Memories. I am Thomas Fuß. My guest today is Dr. Salomé Soloum. She holds a doctoral degree from University Félix Houphouët-Boigny in Abidjan, Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. She is an independent researcher whose work focuses on the history of clothing, sexuality, and mores in pre-colonial Africa. Presently, Dr. Soloum is a guest scholar at Centre Marc Bloch in Berlin with the support of a grant from Deutsche Forschungsgemeinschaft. I'm honored and delighted to have Dr. Salomé Soloum with me. Thank you very much for joining me in this new episode of the podcast Decolonial Memories, and congratulations for the award by the Académie de Trust, which you received recently.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Let's please start with your personal information. Where did you grow up, and what are the educational paths that you took?
Okay, as you said, my name is Soloum Salomé. I was born in Chad, but I grew up in the far north of Cameroon. And I did my primary and the half part of my secondary school in Cameroon also. And I got my bachelor in Chad. After the bachelor, I went to Benin Republic, where I did my first part of the university, from the first year to the fourth year of the university. And after that, I went to Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, where I did my master's and my PhD.
Could you say a little bit about the topic of your PhD?
Oh yeah, the topic of my PhD was about the way people of the south part of Benin during the pre-colonial period they were themselves, and how they were themselves, and the way they make their hair. And it was like about the model, the model of South Benin people from the 17th to the 19th centuries.
I saw that you also did some research on the cultural and social significance of the calabash. Go a little bit into that?
Yeah, that was the topic of my master. And after I finished the defense of of my master, I published the document in 2020 at the Harmattan edition in Paris. And in this document, I was talking about the origin of calabash. And at the end of the studies, we realized that there is two kinds of calabash. The one is from Africa, and the second one is from the America. So from the calabash from the America, they grow up in the tree, and for the Africa, they are on the ground. So after the origins, we study also the way after the fruit is ready, how they can manage it in order to obtain or to transform it. And after the transformation, we also study the way they can decorate the calabash, because it's possible to decorate them. And after the decoration, we also study the utilities or the roles of the calabash in African societies. And for the African societies, calabash has many signification. For example, we use it for our food. We can use it also to flush the water. And we use it also to go to the market. We use it to take water to drink. We use it to eat food. We use it also to give food to our ancestors. That's the divinity part of the calabash. We can give the ancestor the food in the glass or in the metallic recipients. So we must use the calabash to give them. Also, as the symbolic part of the calabash, we use it during the past. We use the calabash when we want to get married a lady. So all the things that the family of the girl asks to the family of the boy, they put them in the calabash. And also, the calabash is used now for design, the architectures. Yeah, some of the monuments in Africa are inspired by calabash. If we went to, for example, in Burkina Faso, there is a monument at the entrance of Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, and in which we can see a lady hold a calabash. So it's the signification of this woman and the calabash is the hospitality. So the lady is welcoming the tourists and each person who came for the first time in the country.
Please talk about your work with the Académie de Trust and what this award is all about.
Or is, the Academy of Trust is a networking of more than, I think, 500 of people. And in the platform, we study the parts of the decolonial museums. We study also the way how African people or how African new researchers can help or can share their point of view about the heritage.
Academy the Trust creates a platform for sharing methods, knowledge, and perspective, emphasizing museum practices and academic research, offering an innovative educational program that is transnational, multilingual, interdisciplinary, free of charges, and also accessible for everybody.
How did you get interested in European colonialism in Africa or specifically in West Africa?
It's not. I can also do I can also be interested in East Africa or West Africa or Central Africa, but as I told you at the beginning, Benin was my. It's not was Benin is my. I can say it's my second country. So the interest to study the European colonialism is nowadays, all the debates, if I can say 50 or 60% of the debates, it's about the restitution movement. And
Debates where in the
no,
people among the people
around the
or
world,
around the world?
yeah, around the
Okay.
world, because now is the how the colonial, the European colonialists can restitute the artifact they looted in Africa. So my interest is just to help or to give my part or to share my point of view about this situation.
But why should young people in Africa be interested in this dark period, long ago period of colonialism?
I think it's because we want to understand exactly what's happened, and also it's because now young African are more how can I say it? They are more interested in their history. They want to to rewrite or to give to share their opinion of what is real African history, because even if when we went at school, all the documents we use, most of them are written 50 or 60% of what we find in the document is about, for example, the first war, the second war. Of course, the Africans participate in these wars, but we need to write this part of history. We need to understand. We need to share. We need to give our point of view, the African point of view, and not the European point of view.
So in the next section, we'll turn to your present research in Germany.
Okay, thank you.
Talking about your present research in Germany, you're here through a scholarship of the German Research Foundation, presently based at the Centre Marc Bloch. How did you get interested specifically in German colonialism in Cameroon?
My interest for the German colonialism in Cameroon, and especially in the far north of Cameroon, is became after a research or some research, yes. And after the researches, I realized that most of the research or the topic concerning the German colonialism in Cameroon are about the south part of the country of the Cameroon. And what we forget is that German colonialism is not only about south part of Cameroon, it's also about the whole country, and especially the far north of the country.
You already mentioned that you grew up in Cameroon, right? And your parents are still living there today, is that
Yeah,
correct?
my parents are still living there. They are living in the far north, especially in Marwa. Yeah, and Marwa is not far from Hina, where I must go to do my oral survey after my research here in Berlin.
Now, your research focuses on this specific piece of fabric from the town of Fina that
Yeah.
was looted by German colonial troops. Can you go a little bit into the details? What exactly happened historically?
And I'm not going to give a new idea, or I'm not going to create a new point of view about how the German colonialism or the European colonialism did in Africa in order to looted their artifacts. We know that they use forces, they use many things in order to oblige the community or the country to respect them or to give them their artifacts. So in Hina is exactly what's happened in 1908 when Christian von Grock, and I think at that moment he was in the Adamawa. Adamawa also is in the north or the big north of what we call now the big north of Cameroon. So he made an expedition in Hina, in which he did a lot of things in order to to oblige to oblige the chief of the communities to respect or to abandon the way they are living, or the way they are how they live, I can say like this. And it's after these bad things he did that he took the fabric and bring it here.
Concerning the history of Hina with German colonialism, we have to know that Hina is a locality in the far north region of Cameroon, and especially in the Mayo-Chanaga division near the Nigerian border. So before the arrival of European colonizers, especially German colonizer, the region was organized into traditional political and social structures. The Mandara people had established an Islamized kingdom as early as the 16th century, while other ethnic groups like the Mafa and Kapsiki lived in autonomous mountain communities organized into clans or um, chiefdoms. So when the German has had officialized their establishment in Cameroon by the signature of the Protectorate over in 1884 through the treaties with coastal chiefs in Douala. The effective colonial penetration into the north of the country, including Hina, had only begun in the early 20th century. So we must also know that the conquest of the North Cameroon by German military was not easy. So even if it started between 1902 and 1907 or 8, they was confronted and subdued several local kingdoms, notably the Mandara Kingdom. Their penetration into the mountains regions like Hina was slow and difficult. Often they need to require military campaigns and alliances with local uh, leaders. So it was at this time that the fabric that we like to study, or the topic, the fabric that we are studying now is was taken, yeah, by the military, by the German military, Christian von Grock, especially in 1908. Furthermore, the mountain populations know they were known for their strong sense of independence, so they didn't accept the German colonialism easily. So, and when they resist, various community no various community resist to German domination, either through open rebellion or by retreating into inaccessible areas. And so in order to submit them, or to make them an obedient, or yes, an obedient people, German forces responding with violent reprisals, destruction of villages, punitive expeditions, and sometimes they kill the chief of the communities in front of their people. So by committing this horrible act, I think that they like to let them know, to make people know that they will use they are going to use each kind of forces in order to make them to let them respect, or yeah, to respect and be polite with to them. Yeah.
And how did you get interested in this specific cultural belonging?
Yeah, my interest, my principal interest for this fabric is that, as I told you in the last in few minutes, I read a document, an article about written by Yann Legal, in which he mentioned this fabric. But what the things that surprised me is that there is no more information about the fabric. The only information we can have about this fabric is the person who looted it and the place where he looted the document, but about this one, and also the place where the fabric is now in Germany. So about these three information, don't have anything else like which what kind of materials we used to fabric we used to made it, from whom we made the fabric, or is it a chief fabric or not, who made who made it, is it a specific person who can made it, or anyone can do it. So that's these few questions that are up on my mind, so I decided to put a little to search again about this fabric and to know it. What's the fabric? What's the role of the fabric for the Hina communities?
So you will try to get answers to these research questions when you visit the Grassi Museum in Leipzig that's presently holding this cultural belonging.
Yes, yes.
How, once you have these results and you would write some report, how do you foresee that you would interact with the community of Hina, where this object was object was taken from?
As I said, after the research here in Germany, before I didn't see the fabric, so it will be my first time to see the fabric when I will go to the Grassi Museum, and after I will be there, I will take a picture of this fabric, and when I will go back home, I need to go and meet the community to show them the fabric, and after that we can start a conversation, or I can ask them questions in order to know more about the fabric. But how are they going to react when they will see the fabric? We don't know, but we hope that they will have a good reaction when they will when they will see the fabric. I think that is their culture, is something that is part of their culture. Yeah.
Are you aware of discussions in Cameroon presently on the whole issue of restitution of the looted belongings? Is there discussion that you're aware of?
Yeah, there is a discussion, but I didn't participate to them, but I think that I will do it.
What is your personal position on all the cultural belongings that were taken during colonialism, let's say to Germany, or where we are presently meeting at the Ethnological Museum of Berlin? What should happen with these belongings?
What I can say is that the restitution, the movement of restitution, is now a big diplomatic and symbolic issue in the new century, in these few years. And as an African research, I would like to say that the movement of restitution allow us to reappropriate our heritage. This movement of restitution allow us also to to rememorate our history, to be reconnected with our past, and also to engage a global debate about the heritage.
In the next section, we will look at more in detail at your work you did on the restitution of cultural belongings to the Republic of Benin.
Okay, thank you.
could be the economic benefits that the country of Benin draws from the restitution of these cultural belongings from France?
Beyond its role in preservation, culture is seen by Benin's government as a strategic basis of vital importance for economic development. As the president said, he underscored the pivotal role of that restitution of cultural heritage that could play in alleviating poverty and generating employment. Why can also this often overlooked in conventional economic discussions? The cultural sector holds immense potential to boost local economics. So we can say that the Beninese government is working to position culture as a cornerstone of its economic and tourism development strategy. And this ambitious initiative aims to highlight the nation's cultural wealth while transforming arts, heritage, and tourism into key engines of economic growth. Ultimately, this strategic shift seeks to establish Benin as a leading cultural and touristic destination, drawing visitors urged to explore its unparalleled heritage of richness and diversity, so as the valorization of cultural heritage and the construction of modern museums are said also to exert a considerable influence on tourism development in Benin. By doing what? By attracting international visitors, the country will not only generate substantial revenues, but also stimulate job creation across various sectors such as hospitality, food services, and tourism. Also, by involving local communities in the management and promotion of cultural sites, Benin aims to foster a sense of belonging and collective pride while ensuring the sustainability of these initiatives. So, beyond their emotional and symbolic significance, the restitution of these artifacts in 2021 carries profound implications not only for tourism but also for Benin's economic development. It's indeed the return of these works has captured international media attention and is attracting a growing number of tourists eager to explore the country's history and culture. The cultural policies are perceived in diverse ways by local artists, depending, as I said last time, on their experience with institutions, their field of activity, and also their specific needs. So, for some Beninese artists, like filmmakers, government initiative aimed at valorizing cultural heritage, particularly through the restitution of cultural artifacts and the construction of new internationally standardized spaces for their preservation are commendable. So in their point of view, these efforts represent a renewed sources of inspiration, strengthening both social cohesion and national pride. And furthermore, these reforms are seen by local artists as an opportunity to gain increased support, whether financial, logistical, or institutional. For instance, training programs, grants, and even artist residencies are envisioned as means to enhance their skills and promote their works. However, while many initiatives are met with enthusiasm, criticism persists regarding their implementation, accessibility, and tangible impact on the ground. A significant number of Beninese artists expressed reservation, arguing that cultural budget prioritizes infrastructure, as I said last time, over creators themselves. So they limit the insufficient inclusion in the cultural policy making process, and contend that their specific needs and daily realities are not always taken into account. So consequently, they feel that these policies are excessively focused on tourism and economic profitability, thereby neglecting support uh, for contemporary artistic creation and experimentation. Yeah.
There also has been some other controversy around the return of these cultural belongings. Some people may have certain historical conflicts with the king of Dahomey. Could you go into that?
Yeah, because during the history of the Dahomey, some of the kings, I think that I know some of them practice what we call slavery. So the people where the king of Dahomey went to collect or to pick or to take people's there and then to sell them to the European, they are not completely happy with this restitution, because it's remind them what's happened in the past, and also it's remind them what some Benin kings did to their fathers or to their grandparents.
Does the government of Benin provide space to have open discussions on these controversial issues?
I don't know. I don't have any idea about it.
So, in the next section, we will turn to your experiences in Germany. For the research on this fabric from Henan, you came to Germany for the first time. What are your initial impressions on how Germany addresses the whole issues of colonial legacies?
Yes, it's my first time to come here, and as is the movement of restitution is a national or is an international debate. The government or the places where I went to in order to do my research, they are more open in order to help people or to help to help people to do research to do research in their places.
Why should German people, or let's say specifically youth, why should they be interested at all in this period of colonialism?
I think that they are like African youth. They want to understand. They want to know exactly what's happened, and also they want to share their point of view about this part of history.
Do you have some ideas how German people, or German youth, and youth from African countries, formerly colonized territories, how they could build up closer connections, dialogue, collaboration? What would you like to see happening in the near future?
In the near future, if it is possible to organize a symposium or a colloque in which we can invite African people or African research who is interested in colonialism or German colonialism or about heritage, and youth for German, in order to allow them to be together, to work together. Because when we are one, I think that we can do better things than when each one is inside and do whatever he wants. So I think that is good in the near future to organize something that can renew it, or to help the both sides to be together. Yeah.
How will you make the results of your present research available to Germans?
Yeah, after the research, after all things will be okay, I have to publish the results. Yeah, in the review, international review, or maybe in the Saint Mark Block review.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Salomé Soloum, for taking your time to share your views and have this wonderful conversation.
Thank you to you too, Thomas, to invite me to your postcards. And also, I will use your postcard to thank some person. Like, I would like to thank Margareta, Julie, the director of Saint Mark Block, all the staff administration of Saint Mark Block, and also I would like to say to thank the DFK Foundation for giving me this scholarship and allow me to come here to do my research. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you.